Tonight, Trump supporter Betsy McCoy, the former lieutenant governor of New York, Clinton supporter Maria Cardona, whose firm currently does work for a pro-Clinton super PAC, Mark Preston, our executive editor of CNN Politics, and Patrick Healy, political correspondent for the New York Times. Betsy, let me start with you with what Jim just said. Trump supporters in Congress telling CNN, don't go there.
Well,
it isn't a smart move.
I understand that viewpoint, and I largely agree with it, because after all, the Trump campaign would like to keep this contest on the issues. We have a record number of unemployed people who have given up looking for work. And we have expanded terrorist threats, not only abroad, but right here at home. But Mrs. Clinton appears to want to shift the issue in this campaign to the treatment of women. And if she does that, as she's struggling to do, it's certainly fair to ask how she treats women. So, and that is the issue, not Bill Clinton's extramarital affairs. I'd like to just finish here and point out that even though now Mrs. Clinton has taken a very modern view and said any woman who is claims to be sexually mistreated should be believed, back then she labeled those women bimbos and did bully them.
You know, Hillary Clinton would love for this to be about the issues. This is why she's out there talking about how she wants to make the greatest investment in jobs since World War II. She wants to improve health care. She's talking about college affordability. But the treatment of women, I'm sorry, is a big issue. When women are 53% of the electorate and you have somebody who is vying to be commander-in-chief who has debased and demeaned women all of his life, and this is a good example of that, I think it is absolutely a fair issue to bring up. Now, if the Clinton campaign wants to go there with an issue that had nothing to do with Hillary Clinton, where she was a victim herself, voters are going to smell the putrid stench of desperation, and it's going to underscore how this temperamentally unfit, loose-lipped, shoot from the hip, demeaning, defrauding, debasing, dividing birther-in-chief can't be commander-in-chief.
On the issue of Hillary Clinton brings up what he said to a beauty queen. She says he said Miss Piggy. He admits that he said that she was too heavy. Okay, is that equivalent to bringing up Hillary Clinton's husband's infidelities?
Well, let me say this. I think that it's a politically stupid move by Donald Trump to go after Hillary Clinton through her husband, because it does make her the victim. Because it is his infidelities that we're talking about. I mean, if there are some other issues that you want to deal with of how Hillary Clinton perhaps treated some people or treated some women, then perhaps that is fair game. But that's not how it is. Donald Trump is being very crass in how he's attacking this. And I just don't think it's very smart in how he's doing it, in his cadence, and where he does it. But he's feeding off of it.
Patrick.
And, you know, in November, it's only going to be Donald Trump's name and Hillary Clinton's name on the ballot. So bringing in Bill Clinton, who frankly brings up a lot of good memories for people who remember in key battleground states in Ohio, in North Carolina, what the economy was like in the 90s. They're not necessarily going to be dwelling on, and let's be honest, it gets pretty complicated when you get into, well, what did Hillary Clinton do about Jennifer Flowers in 1992 when a lot of people weren't born?
Right.
But the point is that if there's going to be a fight over character, Hillary Clinton very much feels, and I think there's a point for undecided women voters, it's a lot better going after Donald Trump's character than going off of the character of a guy who's not even on the ballot.
She's very vulnerable, because ever since she was First Lady, there have been countless documentaries and articles about how shabbily she treats the little people. For example, Ron Kessler, a New York Times bestseller who's written several books about the CIA and the FBI, wrote a book about the First Family,
but
and
Betsy,
how often
that doesn't have the impact, though. At this stage of the game, you're absolutely right about the documentaries.
Yes.
I'm just saying that we have not seen in her Senate race in 2000, in 2006, in 2008, you know, even this time around, it hasn't had that kind of impact.
With the beauty contest as well, we're both talking about the same period of time. But I'd like to raise another issue about this treatment of women, and that is the ad that she has out, in which she depicts young girls looking into the mirror very uncomfortably, very unhappily about their own body image. And then she overlays it with Donald Trump's words. And I'm a mother and a grandmother. And my family has gone through anguish over eating disorders. I've sat at the bedside of a child near death from eating disorders. And so many families across this country, mothers like me, have gone to doctors, read articles, tried to figure out what's going wrong. And we know it's not Donald Trump. So when we see
This Miss Universe, Betsy, alleges that Donald Trump drove her to an eating disorder because of his comments.
She actually, according to other reports, may have had it before. I don't want to attack Ms. Machado. I feel sorry for her. But I do feel that these ads are unfairly exploiting
These ads are incredibly compelling. As the mother of a 9-year-old Latina daughter, when I hear Donald Trump debasing women the way that he has done, debasing Latino immigrants the way that he has done, this kind of ad is incredibly compelling because we don't want this kind of role model in the White House when you're trying to raise children to treat women with respect, to treat themselves with respect, and when they can say, but mama, the President of the United States says and does these things, that is completely unacceptable.
Betsy.
I blame Donald Trump for this.
Hold on, Betsy, you had your piece. Mark, you'll get the final word, and that's it.
Listen, the bottom line is it's an incredibly compelling ad. Donald Trump has said some pretty
dishonest ad.
It said some pretty nasty things. He has said some pretty nasty things.
The families who have suffered from it. It's
She made when Kim Kardashian was pregnant, and you're talking about Hollywood, he mocked her about getting, she's looking a little bit big. With the beauty contestant, she said that he pushed her into the kind of eating disorders that you're talking about. What we haven't seen is any kind of Donald.
He has said himself it is a beauty contest.
That's right. And that she contract to weigh a certain amount.
All right.